grants would be voting on to get the grants. His speech this morning, book speech number 2, resources for informing. And he's been doing a whole bunch of good things around, so we're waiting to hear what he has to say. Time allowed, 8 to 10 minutes. Madam Hyman. The title of his speech, The Wonderful, Interesting Things About Sierra Sunrise Toastmaster Members. Help me to welcome Matthew Greiner.
Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Wonderful to have you here. Sierra Sunrise Toastmasters. You know, this is a very interesting group of people. People from all different parts of the world. People that have different interests. A nice collective, I would like to say. If you are prospecting this club today and thinking about joining, don't miss this opportunity. You're going to see what a great group of people this is. Today's agenda, the things I'd like to go through. This presentation is specific to you and to you alone, not to the city of Reno, not to another club, not to anybody else, but Sierra Sunrise Toastmasters. A few weeks ago, a survey was passed out. This one right here that I have in my hand. And in this survey, it asks you things that you like about Reno, also the Reno surrounding area. Some of the things, some of the events that you have attended and that you have frequented, ask you questions, did you like the event? It also gets into demographic data. So you're going to begin to learn a little bit more about your peers and also yourself and how you stand within that pool. I am going to focus on presenting this data in a graphical representation. I personally believe that a chart and graph can tell so much more than just a mere statistic. A chart and graph can really help you relate, and you can get a graphical representation of what that data means. And at the very end, I hope you walk away with this one key idea. Know your audience. Know who you're speaking to. When you know the person you're talking to, it helps develop a relationship. It gives commonality. But more importantly than that, you know something that is of interest to that person. And you can begin to make a presentation that is specific and tailored to that audience. That will give you more prestige in their eyes because you are now relating and focusing your presentation on that person's interest. So, Sierra Sunrise Toastmasters. Currently, right now, we have 33 people on the schedule. Of the people on that schedule, 23 of them responded. I'm very, very happy with a 23% or 23 people responding. That gives me nearly a 70% response rate. 70% response rate is an excellent, excellent target. Great number. If I had 70% response rate in all of my interactions in life, I'd be much more successful than I am. So I'm very happy with that. The first question that was on the survey was, what events do you frequent? What things do you like to attend here in the area? As you can see right here, the number one, I have these highlighted in red, Reno air races. Number one event attended by people in this room. Tied for it right there is the rib cook-off. Now one thing you can, knowing your audience, thinking about how you can use this data to help you in your presentations, we know people in this room like to fly. We've got a C-130 Hercules flight pilot in here. That's an interesting topic. People like flight. But guess what else we like? We like to eat. We like barbecue. We like our pork ribs. So maybe these would be two good subjects for people to talk about in their next presentation. Let's talk about a C-130. Let's talk about a rib cook-off. Let's talk about how to get that St. Louis style ribs the best that it can be. People's favorite event. You know what the number one favorite event of people in this room is? The balloon races. People like the balloon races. Maybe another interesting topic to talk about. Take some pictures. We've got a beautiful, beautiful screen here, a nice projector. Show some of those beautiful pictures in the morning of those balloons taking off. Will be another great speech topic. What decade were you born in? That was another question that was asked to the people in this room. I found this to be very interesting. As you can see right here, it kind of follows what we call a normal distribution. So we are a normal group of people. We had people born in all different types of decades. We had a couple of people that were born back in the 1920s. Different perspective on life coming from that time. 4 people born from the 1930s, 4 people from the 1940s. Our biggest group, our biggest segment is from the 1950s. 7 people were born in the 1950s. No, 5 born in the 1960s. That was a nice era. I wasn't there, but I've seen movies on it. 1970s, and of course my favorite, the 1980s. I'm a 1980s baby. Ronald Reagan. That's when I was born. Where were you born? That was another question that was asked. Now, when I came here to Reno, I'm not a native Reno. I'm a migrant Nevadan. I migrated here. And when I came here and I told people I was from California, I don't know, maybe some of you can relate to this. California! Ugh, not another one. That was not one, that was several times when I came here. People did not like Californians. I'm like, well, I better keep my mouth shut. I'm from the West. And you know, I found it interesting. The #1 group is people from California. There's 5 of you from the state of California. But the other thing that I found very interesting, only 3 are actually from Nevada. There's only 3 natural-born Nevadans. Everyone else is from a different state. We got people from Arizona, Quebec, Canada, people from Iowa, right there in the Midwest, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, Washington, even Wisconsin. Yeah, way up there. But I think we can look at it in terms of a chart and graph right there, and it gives you some perspective of, okay, it's a diverse group of people. But I think if we overlay that data and we put it on what we call a map, you can see that people have come from all parts of the United States, all to end up right here in Nevada. California, Arizona, Louisiana, Canada up here, East Coast, New Jersey. We're really a diverse group of people. Think about that. We have people from all different parts of the country. We even have outside country citizenship within this club. Thank you, Jeanette. Natural-born Nevadans versus migrant Nevadans. You would almost think when you arrive here that everyone's from Nevada. Not at all the case. Not at all the case. Charts and graphs help us better understand that. That might have been a misconception that everyone here is from here. Not at all the case. You can see, when you look at it, 87% of the population of this group, Sierra Sunrise Toastmasters, you're from another place. You were not born in Nevada. The year you moved to Reno, that's the next, I think, important question, since we know that a lot of us have migrated here. When did you come here? This is a graphical representation of the different years. I think it's easier to look at this data, though, if we summarize it by decade. So this next graph is going to be the decade that you moved to the Reno, Nevada area. 2 people moved in the 1960s, 2 more in the 1970s, 4 in the 1980s, 4 in the 1990s, 5 in the 2000s, and 3 in the 2010s. This data tells an economic story, which is going to be for our later presentation. Reasons for moving to Reno? Well, the #1 reason was work. 10 people in this room moved to Reno because of work. An opportunity to better yourself financially presented itself here, and that is what you came here for. The next group, 5 people here, came because of their families. 3, you had no choice, you were born here. So my next question is, where do you live? Most of the people in this room live in the great city of Reno. 19. 3 from Sparks, 1 from Truckee. So how long does it take you to get here? That's a good question. Kind of, I think, the next progression in logic in thinking about, okay, this is where you live, how long does it take you to get to the club? Most of us have a nice commute of 5 to 10 minutes. But I want to go all the way to this end of the spectrum. One of us has a commute of 36 to 40 minutes. Truckee, that's a long drive. It's a long drive. People come all the way from there. The people come all the way from Quebec too, so. The next question I was asked, would you recommend Reno as an area for people to live in? And guess what the resounding answer was on this? A huge yes! 100% of you said that Reno is a great area and you would recommend it for your friends and family to move to. I'd like to leave you with this closing thought by Albert Einstein. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is to not stop questioning. Albert Einstein. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Matt. And if you would all take a minute, put your comments. Matt, we greatly appreciate it. You probably added into one of the threads.